Hi Capricorn, welcome to March 2019. Oh, lots starting today. New moon in Pisces, Mercury retrograde, Sun conjunct Neptune, which is always interesting. So I didn't want to do the reading yesterday because I was like, I think let's do it on the full moon, right? Let's do it on the full moon for you guys. Or new moon, I mean, sorry. Okay. This is why, right? This is why. Because this magnificent portal is opening astrologically for us. And you especially undergoing massive amounts of change. Where all the things that once served you no longer really have a purpose in your life. And I think there's just this feeling of simplification, keeping it simple, working less, enjoying life more, trying less, and actually finding a lot of freedom in trying less. Because as Saturn was moving through your 10th house, right through Libra, through Scorpio, through Sagittarius, the past several years, there was this essence of climbing and trying and just this constant, ambitious, forward motion, goal-oriented essence of Capricorn, which is a beautiful thing. But now it's time for the whole story to get flipped upside down and for you to start living in a different kind of way. Still powerful, still standing in your seat of awesomeness, right? We all love Capricorns, me especially. You guys know how much I gush on Capricorns. But it's time for a total rewrite. Two of Coins suggests there's probably some consideration going on. And I think a lot of this consideration actually has a lot to do with the needs of other people. If I change, how is this going to affect, my business and my employees? If I change, how is this going to affect my significant other? How is it going to affect my children, my best friends? Am I going to have to get people out of my life? And it really is time for Capricorn to be selfish in that focusing on yourself is priority number one and your inner peace. Because these 10 of Swords don't accrue overnight. This is not like a, flip the switch and all of a sudden you have all these swords. This is an accrual over years and years and years of strife in a certain area of your life or a certain thing. I'm not saying you guys haven't had success. I'm not saying you haven't had amazing things happen to you or that you haven't lived life, but you've gotten buried. And now it's time to it's not even about digging yourself out. It's more about letting the wind take the dirt layer by layer by layer so that you can start breathing again. And Uranus coming into that 5th house is a beautiful thing. Mars in the 5th house right now. I know you guys are feeling I just want to chill out. I just want to enjoy my life. I I don't really care so much about what I've got. I just want to care about the people that I love. It's all about priorities. And a card of Pisces, very appropriate for what we're going through right now, okay? It's not about seeing the final destination. That's not really what this is all about. It's so critical for you to trust and to have faith that life's got your back. And as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, that path will unfold perfectly. I had a very intense meditation I wanted to share with you guys specifically, so I hope you don't mind. I've been practicing this whole thing of adjusting the way I see things, where you soften the eyes. You know how you guys in the 90s, when you have those computer generated artwork pieces and you would have to mess up your eyes in order to see the image pop out. You guys, I'm aging myself here a little bit, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And when you start looking at the world that way, you start to notice that the world is looking back. Like the trees see you. The sky sees you. And during this meditation, I was doing that. I was just sitting outside on my porch and just looking at, I have these trees right in front of me. And I was just practicing. And this kind of light bulb turned on. It was like, life also sees you. You are, or life is as aware of you as you are of it. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks of like, whoa, like life knows who I am. Life knows that I'm here. Life knows like what's going on. And like I'm relevant to life itself in a way. So the whole reason why I'm telling you all of that is because life will not misguide you. One step in front of the other, one day at a time, and that's it. You cannot make any prejudgments right now, not when you're at a 10 of Swords space. You can't make prejudgments because really the goal isn't about tomorrow. It's not about where you're going. It's really more about getting out of this 10 of Swords position. Like I said, letting the wind blow the dirt off of you. You know, if you're buried deep, let the wind carry it away. Let life carry it away. Slowly but surely, it will make sense. Whether it's a love thing, a business thing, a money thing, a health thing. I know you're operating in the dark and you probably have been for a while. And I know you may be feeling misguided, but that's just your perception and is not actually the reality. Okay? Three of Cups. So Pisces season brings out our feeling of indulgence a little bit. It's not strict. It's not a strict time of year, you know, like eating a little bit more than normal, drinking a little bit more than normal, smoking a little bit more, caffeinating, sugaring, like all these kinds of things, and maybe even gossiping a little bit more than normal as well. Be careful that you're not like flapping your gums, okay? Make sure that you are speaking only positive things and that you're surrounding yourself with non-gossipy people. I don't like this card when we're dealing with like social circumstances, right? Pisces, third house. It's all about your neighborhood, your community, your connectivity, your little kind of close-knit groups, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't engage in non-productive conversation this month because it can get real messy real fast. People telling all their deep darks, allowing themselves to just like gush and complain and vent and all of this. You know, if you have friends like that, I think it's okay to let them, but I wouldn't reciprocate. Like I wouldn't do that. It's not that it's not healthy. It's not that it's not good. But what happens in these kinds of circumstances, and especially if there is an influence of any kind of substance as well, is their opinions and their ideas start getting planted up here at a time when you really should not be having extraneous ideas being implanted in your mind. Like, don't let other people plant seeds in your mind right now, and be very aware of their opinions, because you need to know that those opinions are filtered through their own life experiences, their own childhoods, their own psychology, their own astrological energies, their own family situations, and it really does not have a lot to do with you. Okay, so just let them be them, you be you, let them be different. They can say whatever they want to say about their life, but when it comes to them starting to interject their ideas into your life, I would cut it off really fast. Okay? I wouldn't indulge in that kind of behavior at all. I think that would be a bad idea, because we are all so susceptible right now. We are all so incredibly open that if someone comes in with even a little bit of jealousy or a little bit of self-loathing or a little bit of like, you know, if it's your girlfriend's and she's having bad boyfriend after bad boyfriend, well, then she comes in with a lot of anger against men kind of thing, right? And you don't need that. You know, you don't need that being in your mind at all. See, this is why all that I just said is leading up to this card right here. New love, new pathways. This is where the path is leading. 100% guarantee, not a doubt in my mind. This is where the path is leading. And the Ace of Cups is always a state of blissfulness. It's a state of serenity, right? Tranquility. It's so completely opposite from this. See, this is what happens when people come out of a thing like this and they get whirled into the moon energy. They start trying to control stuff because they don't like to, especially an earth sign, right? Earth and probably even fire a little bit too. I can't handle the not knowing. Air and water, I think, are a little bit better at the whimsical aspect of life. But seriously, this is the time when people try the most because they want to know that path. And this is when they get the most frustrated. You can avoid any and all frustrations entirely by just simply having faith that this is coming. It can be a romantic partnership, or it could just be a feeling. Maybe nothing really changes in the outside world, and it's just a feeling of self-control, self-awareness, self-love, self-respect, and peace, and all those beautiful things, right? Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it is good health. Maybe it is an ejection of something toxic, and therefore you feel lifted. This is kind of the resurrection from here. Some Capricorns, they do see Ace of Cups even in the very center of the reading, which you'll see when I put the camera down. Some Capricorns do play, they can play the victim card, and the Capricorns in my life that I know, it's yeah, they definitely can do that whole thing. And it's not a time to do that. That's why even staying away from this kind of stuff, because you can easily fall into the feeling sorry for yourself or whatever. And that's a total waste. It's not productive. It's not good for anything. And so here's this. It's such a romantic time right now, you guys. People are coming out of the woodwork. They're creeping up. They're creeping out. They're sending text messages. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're doing. Because again, they too are trying to grasp control. They're trying to control their destiny or whatever, Be careful of the people that come out of the woodwork, right? Like the creatures, not that they're bad, but like the creatures that creep up out of the darkness. That's kind of what the essence of this Knight of Cups is. It's a fleeting energy. Unless we get a king or a queen, okay, to back him up, I'm just going to say he's in and out. Show up, leave. Communicate with you, brainstorm with you, sit down for a meeting with you, a coffee, whatever, all these ideas. Don't buy into the fantasy that they're bringing forward right now. Aries season, it will be different. Mercury goes back direct, gets out of Pisces, moves into Aries. It will be different. But for right now, one day at a time. Don't believe any promises. Make people put money where their mouth is. They say it, fine, let it be that. If it's something you're hoping for, fine, just feel the hope, that's fine. But don't get disappointed if it doesn't work out, and be really, really happy if it does, but just let them do the whole thing, because people just getting really caught up in delusions and in fantasy right now. And we would much, much rather have you be here on your own, independent of an external energy. You know what I mean? This is not dependent on what someone else does. This is the state of being, and it's completely in and of itself self-contained within your own heart and with your own mind and within your own soul. Now, some of you from this state of mind may actually be really making changes in terms of following your passion, that kind of thing, incorporating new beautiful things into your life. Although I do feel like there is a lot of stress and there is a lot of anxiety around the unknowns and the big question marks. With the moon card, I do often say that it's like the big question mark of the tarot. It's very open-ended, ... to be continued. If you've watched any of my other readings, you've probably heard me say that already for this month. There can be a feeling of the fear of the surrender, which makes sense. because it's kind of like life is asking you to jump into the abyss. It's asking you to let go of the railing and to fall, which is scary. And there could be some unresolved emotions, some unresolved feelings about the whole thing, whatever your situation is. And I think in many ways you are hoping for a resolution. And unfortunately, I just don't think that you're going to get it from anything outside. You have to just be okay with it. You have to forgive. You have to forget. Just noticed my drawer was open. You have to learn to be still with the reality. Eight of Cups can be tough, because clearly there's something you don't want to walk away from. Very possible this is the person you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for the phone call. Maybe not consciously waiting, but it's almost like I've been wanting this closure. I've been wanting this deal. I've been wanting this client. I've been wanting this the whole time. And it's just kind of like they're coming in like a weird mirage. It's like they're there, but not there. What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to handle that? Don't. Just don't. Don't handle it. You don't have to do anything. See, what happens when you try to do something is this. It's just people are trying to grasp, the reason why. And we'll clarify the Knight of Cups. I'm not saying, like I said, it's not like they're a bad person. They're just like, they just don't know. People that are watching astrology, people that are watching tarot and doing energy readings and numerology readings and all of that, they're more conscious of what's going on and what energies are kind of impacting them and how life is really unfolding. But most people aren't like that. And so they're just at the whim and the mercy of the life force itself. And they don't understand that they're in a growth period. And they don't understand that the desires and the tendency are creeping up for a reason, right? They're creeping up for healing. So when they reach out and they grasp, it's all ego driven. And this is what the Five of Wands is really all about. It's about the ego. And this person is probably going to trigger your ego a lot as well. They are going to really push those buttons. And they're going to say the things that drive you crazy, trying so hard to let this be, to let this come, to feel this beautiful emotion, this beautiful feeling. But it's like, no matter what they say, it's probably going to trigger you in some way, shape, or form. Like, well, why didn't you talk about this last month? Or why didn't this happen when I said this? Or, and so you have to just accept that it's going to be imperfect. And you have to just accept that they're different from you. And they simply challenge you, and it's all for you. Everything about this whole thing is all for you. To break down your own ego. Pisces, 12th house. The sign of our own undoing. We spend all this time, houses 1 through 10 and even 11, understanding our ego, understanding our thoughts, our feelings, our creativity, understanding our relationships and sex and philosophy and dogma and being in the public and our place in humanity and the community. It's like all these houses. And then Pisces comes and it's like, oh, it all doesn't matter. It's all not real. And people are like, wait, what? We just went through houses 1 through 11. And wait, you're telling me it's not real? House of our undoing. Okay, yeah, people grasp because they're like, that's not, no, I'm not going to let it be undone. So if you let yourself be broken down, you let Neptune do his whole illusionary, and even as the sun connects with Chiron in Aries, later on in Aries season, let it happen, right? Let the energy do its work. Let the breakdown tear you apart. Let your identity go. Everything that you're telling yourself that you are, I am smart, I am kind, I am warm-hearted. It's not that these are bad things, but it's that these are also how you identify yourself. And this person is going to come and challenge all those things, and they're going to tap into kind of a weird, even animal nature to you, like the very raw, true, authentic version of yourself, like the id part of yourself. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords now. It's all this psychological cycle that happens. And the hanging on is what kind of spurs the fives to come through. And so if you allow this person to just run through your life like a river, it comes and it goes, it'll be so much easier. Trying to get anything from whatever this person has to offer, trying to get anything right now. I'm not saying it's forever. It's a temporary reading. It's just for March, okay? But for now, trying to get anything is futile. There's no possible way you're going to get what you want. And you've been here before. You've been here before, 5 of Swords. You know that no one's going to win this game. You already know. Going in, there's no surprise. So why try? Okay. Look, it's not meant to be a Debbie Downer reading. It's meant to liberate you, and it depends on how you see it. I know I'm going to get comments on here, and people are going to be like, oh my God, you are so negative. Like, no, you guys, I'm not negative. It's not, it's the nature of the season, and you need to flow. You need to be fluid with it, because if not, you're just going to kill yourself. It's going to be really challenging. So let's put this camera down the way we do. Okay, turn it over the way we do. Okay. I've been using a new deck. If you've watched my other readings, you'll already know. It's called the Thoth deck. It's a very famous artwork. It's very beautiful. And just to add for the supplemental content, 3 of Swords and Death. Okay, so pretty intense. We know that the 3 of Swords, it says sorrow here, and we know what death is, right? Death is change. It's an inevitability, and there's no escape. Just like in reality, death itself, we cannot escape it. So it's futile to even try. This is a card of futility. Okay, so it's futile to even try. Let something die. Right? Let it die. Let it go. The pain, clearly, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, clearly, it's a lot. What we want is this. And this is actually just simply a choice. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a state of emotional being. And there are many ways to bring this into your life consciously. First and foremost, like I said, like observing the trees and letting life watch you back, letting life and the world look at you rather than you looking at the world. Let it be projected inward, and you'll see that this person and this whole situation just blends into the background. They're just a part of the scenery. They're just a part of the roller coaster. They're just a part of the experience. They are not the whole experience, though. This is never worth it. This is a waste of life. Right? This is a waste of life. So unless I clarify and he comes out as a king, I may change my tune, but for now, as a horse person, as a mutable energy, they're unpredictable. And they probably have been unpredictable in the past, and they probably will continue to be unpredictable. So any effort and energy put into that is just going to add to the sorrow. You know, this is very Saturnian. We have the Saturn symbol up there at the top, okay? And this is very Plutonian. So fitting, right, for the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So fitting. Makes so much sense for this whole year. Capricorn, you are changing. And it's such a beautiful thing. It really, really is. So let's start clarifying this stuff, yeah? Let's see what the Two of Coins is all about. So these will be the cards that we'll cover in the comprehensive reading, but I just wanted to want to show you guys what, you know, what comes out, so you at least know what we're going to talk about. Yeah, there's the indifference. Indifference is your best friend this month. This is a month for healing. Pisces being known for healing. Six of Coins. Okay, 10 of Swords. Whoa, okay, hold on. A whole bunch of cards fell out. I'm not going to take all of these, but we'll take these ones. Queen of Cups, reversed. I think that's you guys, you know. Feeling, we'll talk about the control factor with the Queen of Cups, kind of like how I just said. Okay, wow. A lot of cards wanted to come out for that 10 of Swords, all right? So, two Saturn-ruled cards, okay? Clarifying the 10 of Swords. The black connection with the Devil and the 10 of Swords coming out too. You guys know I always pull like a million cards, so yes, it does get messy, so we'll try to keep it a little organized. The Moon. There's the Surrender. What did I say? Let's see now. This is also immutable energy, but he's standing still. Yeah, I knew the Nine of Swords was going to come out because actually when I was shuffling before I turned on the camera, I saw the Nine of Swords twice. So not surprised that came out. Okay, so let's do the Ace of Cups. Is that you? Two cards of Aquarius. Wow. Venus in Aquarius this month. There's the card of Capricorn. There could be totally new person or a person that's been in your life for a really long time. Okay, so yes, that person, they're going to be making crazy promises, you know, they're going to be like, yes, let's sign the contract. Yes, let's do the deal. Yes, let's get together. Yes, let's be in love. Yes, let's go on that vacation, you know, and you're just going to be like, man, like freaking, like, don't lead me down this path. Like, just book it, sign it. Don't talk about signing it. Just do it. Put the ring on my finger. Don't talk about putting the ring on my finger. Like, just do it. It's all talk this month. See? Three of Cups reversed. Twice. Both reversed. Don't listen to other people. Everyone is going to try to tell you what to do. Everyone's going to have an opinion. The moon is still up. The sun has not yet risen. It's okay. It will in Aries season. Don't worry. Temporary, temporary. Oh man. 5 of Wands twice. 5 of Swords twice. Now 5 of Cups. Deep scorpionic qualities coming through. Yes. Okay. This Knight of Cups, the same as the King of Cups upside down. That's the connection there. Okay, that's what's coming through. So yeah, so this is where we're at. This is what we're going to deal with in the comprehensive. So I'm going to leave you guys there. If you guys want to join me, the link will be down below. If not, then just take it easy this month, Capricorn. Relax. Let other people do all the crazy shit. Just be you. Focus on the things you love to do. And wait patiently for Aries season. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.